Hello, welcome Solex Nation. It is June 30th, the last day of the month. We do have a couple of announcements for you. We actually have a huge announcement at the end of this call. It's an exciting one, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But like I said, June 30th, last day of the month. The most important thing for you to note today is that our Day of Discovery tickets are on sale for $125, and that ends tonight at midnight. Starting tomorrow, July 1st, that price will go up. So if you're going to come to Day of Discovery, lock in those tickets now. We have sold so many. We are at our halfway mark right now. We're so excited about it. Remember, it's September 10th and 11th, and it will be in Lehi, Utah. All right, let's talk about our Onyx Gold. We've announced it, but now we want you to know it is for sale. You are able to purchase it now. It is available in your back office. And if you would like to add it to your monthly auto ship, that option is available. We have a lot of information coming out about it and a lot of questions that have been coming in. So keep them coming. We want to know what you want to know. But we have also put out some good information about our Onyx Gold product on our Facebook page, Solex AO Scan Official. Okay, last week we had a contest on our call, and we were giving away 2 3-packs of our soap to 2 different people. So to qualify for this contest, you needed to buy your Day of Discovery ticket by this past Monday at midnight. So all of you that did that are in this drawing, okay? And if you purchase more than 1 ticket, your name is in here for however many tickets you purchased, okay? So we're gonna draw 2 right now. Okay, so 2 3-packs of soap. The first 3-pack goes to Donald Walker. Congratulations to you, Donald. Okay, next 3-pack. Nancy Banks. All right, Donald and Nancy, we will get those 3-packs shipped out to you tomorrow. All right, we have a great call lined up for you today. Some really interesting information that I think you're gonna love. Before we get to that though, let's announce our top enrollers for the week of June 21st through June 27th. We have a tie for our second highest enroller, 3-way tie. And that goes to Sara Pugh, Gemie McLeod, and Jessica Zevallos. Great job, all 3 of you. Our top enroller for that week is Janie Gonzales-Shattuck. Congratulations, Janie. We will send you your Solex silver coin tomorrow. All right, now we're going to turn the time over to Marv Higby.
So I am really excited to be here to talk to you today about our Onyx Power body protection. So all of the devices that we have that have Onyx in them also provide a certain kind of protection. So we live in an electromagnetic world that is literally floating with harmful frequencies. And some of those frequencies are actually strong enough to break the very bonds that hold our DNA together. So can you hear me now? Can't you see that cell phone being held up to a head? That is really the danger that's going on, is that can you hear that everything is bathed in these frequencies? Imagine for me, just for a second, that we are getting here and there are billions of phone calls that are being placed around the world, and they find people thousands of miles away. Imagine all of those phone calls are passing through your body, those frequencies, to go and find the person that they're designated to arrive at. So, with all of this electromagnetic frequencies and danger that are going through us and traveling through our bodies, the National Council on Radiation Protection and Measurement declared that 2 milligauss is the maximum amount of electromagnetic radiation that the human body can handle at any one exposure. And if you look at a computer, it's 5 milligauss. A hairdryer is 25 milligauss. So when you're blowing your hair dry in the morning, you're bathing yourself in electromagnetic frequencies that are doing harm to your body. If you use a microwave, you're exposed to 100 milligauss per second. If you're using a cell phone, it's up to 100 milligauss per second. And the thing that's most crazy of all is if you want one of those healthy smoothies that you have every morning to start your day, you're exposing your body to up to 220 milligauss per second. That's kind of a scary idea. So, while our technology has certainly made the world a better place in many, many ways, it's also come with some risks. And it has parallel rising rates of cancer and stress and sleep disorders and all kinds of illnesses and autoimmune diseases. So here's a picture that's very interesting. This is, according to the USA Today, radiation from your cell phone may be damaging your brain. And so they actually took some pictures of rat brain 2 minutes before cell phone exposure and 2 minutes after cell phone exposure. Look at that rat in the middle. Boy, he looks like he's had a little bit of too much exposure. And the reality is you can literally see the spots that are appearing on the brain as the damage is occurring. Concerning. The world is shredding our protective energy field. So the body is very interesting. It has an energy field, much like the Earth itself has an energy field that protects it. We can see and measure the Earth's energy field, but also we can see and measure the body's protective energy field. In fact, using Kirlian photography, they can literally see what's going on with it. And all of these things, your cell phone and your wireless connections and your fluorescent lights and stress and more stress and radio waves and high tension wires and pesticides and television, and all of these things are weakening and shredding our protective energy field. So air vitamins to the rescue. Basically, negative ions. Negative ions are good, positive ions are bad. They're also called anions and cations. So the cations are bad and the anions are good. And they have basically an anion is an ion with more electrons than protons, giving it a beneficial negative charge, which means it impedes oxidation. A cation is an ion with more protons than electrons, giving it harmful positive charge, which accelerates oxidation. Basically, this is happening with the oxygen itself, the oxygen molecule. When it has more electrons than protons, it's beneficial, and we breathe it in, and it helps take care of our body. When it has more protons than electrons, it actually is oxidizing the body. It's trying to reestablish balance, and so it's going and oxidizing the body. Negative ions are so beneficial to us that we actually believe that you need as many as 2 negative ions to offset every 1 positive ion, and that's what's kind of considered the ideal that you find in nature. If you're walking along the ocean or up in the mountains or walking along a waterfall, you will find this negative ion concentration of 2 to 1. There's even some studies that have been done looking at the ion concentration in the different environments that we find ourselves in this modern world. And I'm not going to go through each one of those and tell you what the ratio is, but if you can look at that far right-hand side of that chart, it's showing you that there is not a single environment that has that positive 2 to 1 ion, or negative ion to positive ion ratio that we're looking for. Not a single place. Every place is actually creating damage to our body and to our protective energy field. So what is it about anions or negative ions that's so important? Not only are they helping to stabilize oxygen, and that's one of the things because that antioxidation process is really important, but they also oppose electromagnetic frequencies through what's called a diamagnetic shielding effect. They literally shield your body from those negative ions or from those positive ions. That's a really interesting thing that they found, and this is an actual photograph where they're actually showing the diamagnetic effect of the negative ions. Research suggests that negative ions support your immune system, they support alertness, they support productivity and concentration, they actually help you to utilize your oxygen better, they improve lung capacity and support lung capacity, they support healing, they support alpha wave production in the brain, which is a very important function that you need. They also help to support pain management so you can deal with pain better, and they support the uptake of iron. If you were to go online, and I hope that you will, and go do your own research, but you will find that PubMed which is really a great resource for doing any kind of research on anything, any nutrient or supplement or anything like that. Go on and look. You're going to find that there are 40,000 studies on negative ion research. I think that's pretty impressive. It tells you that people recognize negative ions and the power that they have. As I've mentioned over and over, the key benefit is antioxidation. Negative ions neutralize free radicals. So this is Ionics Power Body Protection by Solex that we're talking about. We're very excited about this, but I wanted you to hear some of this history because it's fascinating. 65 million years ago, a meteorite collided with the Earth in Shandong, China, leaving the only known deposit of Saibin on the planet that's fused into a mountain of limestone. 4,500 years ago, the Yellow Emperor, the very famous Yellow Emperor Huangdi, emperor and father of traditional Chinese medicine. He actually is also considered the father of Chinese, the written language. He's the one that developed the alphabet and all of those kinds of things. He also noticed that musicians in his court were living longer and living healthier lives than other people. And he went to go find out what it might be and found that they were using instruments or chimes that were made out of a rare stone called Saibin. It was reported to him that these musicians were living far longer than expected. And upon closer examination, Huangdi found that the Saibin it had a powerful energy or qi that it seemed to be emitting, and he could sense it or feel it. And he declared Saibin to be the most important component of traditional Chinese medicine. I don't know if you understand how important that is. He actually identified 5 different components that were critical to the success of traditional Chinese medicine, and Saibin was number 1. Very interesting. Over time, Saibin faded into history until it was rediscovered in the 1970s by a music professor who was actually looking at these same chimes that were reported to have been used in Huangdi's court, and he was working with them, but he noticed that they seemed to be giving off an energy, and he contacted a geologist colleague of his, and they began to research a little bit more about these stones, and they believed that they really were the identical stones that were used by Huangdi in his court nearly 5 millennia ago, 5,000 years ago, some of the oldest musical instruments that we found to date. Extensive research into Saibin exhibits a lot of different benefits like negative ion generation and far infrared scattering and a variety of things that really help to get these negative ions into your body. The far infrared scattering effect of Saibin is scientifically proven. This is a study actually done on Saibin to raise the body temperature and promote the circulation of oxygen in the blood. So oftentimes what they would do is if somebody had a wound, they would take a piece of Saibin, they would set it in the sun to charge, and they would place that over the wound, and they noticed that the wounds would heal faster. In addition to Saibin, we added black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a beautiful gemstone, but it is also pyroelectric, which means it generates electricity, and it's piezoelectric, which means it actually can store electric charges. These 2 properties cause the black tourmaline to release far infrared waves or scattering that in turn accelerate the production of negative ions in the Saibin and in the tourmaline. So when combined together, these two items, these 2 ingredients, these 2 components literally represent the definition of synergy, where the sum of the whole, when they're added together, is greater than the sum of the parts. In other words, they produce even more negative ions. So one of the things that I think is the most exciting about our product is that we have an exclusive sales and distribution right outside of China for this proprietary blend of tourmaline and Saibin. In fact, Saibin cannot be sold outside of China without it going through Solex. Isn't that exciting? Lauren signed that agreement with Dr. Chi, who is the Saibin quarry owner, and we have that right.
Well, here we are, another week's gone and come and gone, and so many exciting things happening, so much going on. Well, I wanted to just take a few minutes and kind of get you a little more familiar with some of the other products that we've launched recently and how they complement the AO scanner and how the two complement each other. So let me just go through a few of those things. You're familiar with your AO scanner, and we hope you really love it. We sure love making it and working with it. But let's talk a little bit about the negative ion bracelets and insoles and necklaces and the negative ion products. They, in and of themselves, create their own energy field. They produce negative ions. They produce infrared energy that is conducive to our own body's health. It helps strengthen us. Where they're really effective, and that maybe isn't the best word, but where they're really practical is they help shield us from some of the EMF and negative energies that are out there. And so let me talk a little bit about that. If you go back into the ancient times in China when Bin was first discovered, and it was the powder remnants from a meteor that had struck China many, many millions of years ago. And it had these properties, and they, when they held the powder in their hands, they felt better, and if they put it on their wounds, they healed faster, and they could run further, and they knew then that there was something special, almost magical about the powder. And so for the last 4,000 years, the Chinese have used this product extensively. And we came into possession of the rights to this product about 12 years ago. And we found that if we put it into bracelets and necklaces and insoles, that it gave the body more energy, more a sense of well-being. And so the fact that they generate their own energy, and unlike other types of energy products that use tourmaline or some of the other things that eventually lose their power, their energies over time, the Bin is rechargeable. You can put it out in the sun for a couple hours and it recharges it. And according to the Chinese scientists and researchers that have worked with it for years, it has about a 70-year half-life. So that means a long time. You're going to be able to use your bracelets and your insoles. As long as you take care of them, you charge them, they're going to continue to produce that energy. Okay, so this you probably already know from Marv's demonstrations and talks. Here's where they work with the scanner. Bin and the mineral compound that makes up our bracelets and our insoles is able to hold a frequency imprint. So if you take that and you put it on your scanner and you imprint it with any of the frequency options that you have, it will hold that frequency really, really well for several days to maybe a little bit more than a week. So by using the bracelets and the scanner, you get a double effect. You get the inherent energy that's produced by the Bin, but you also get the imprint energy from what you've imprinted in. So the two, it works like a hand in a glove. Okay, so, and that goes with all our negative ion products that you use Bin. Now let's talk about Solex Gold. This is our fulvic acid product that we've just launched. Now, everybody knows how important it is that we have the right blend and concentration of minerals and electrolytes in our system. Dr. Pollack found it and has made the statement that almost every disease can be linked back to a mineral deficiency. So having this in our system in a way that can be assimilated is important. And there's a lot of good fulvic products on the market. We produce one that we're really happy with. And it, again, because of its mineral nature, can be put onto the AO scanner and imprinted. So not only do you get the benefit of the minerals and the electrolytes that are inherently in the liquid, You can also, every time you put those drops in your drink, you can put in the imprint, just like a homeopathic medicine. So these products are great standalone, but they're wonderful. They're amazing when you couple it with what you can do with the AO scanner. Okay, now another thing I want to just mention here. We've had people say, well, can I just have a frequency for a vitamin or for a mineral or for the fulvic or whatever, and just use that instead of have to take the supplement? And the answer to that is absolutely no, because that does not replace the nutrient of taking the actual product. We are not Star Trek yet. We don't have replicators yet to be able to do that. So when you put in a imprinted frequency into your bracelet or into your liquid or into your body, all that is doing is helping the body to become more ready for when you actually bring that actual nutrient into your body. You're going to assimilate more of it. Your body will accept it better rather than reject it or flush it. So keep that in mind. These frequencies enhance the products. They do not replace the products. Really important that you understand that. I'll give you another example along those lines. As you know, with the AO scanner, you can take your supplements, you can copy their frequencies into your supplement library. And then when you do a scan, you can ask it to check for which supplements you resonate with at that moment in time. Well, we had one of our QLAs that got in touch with us and says, I've been taking this particular product from another supplier, and I've loaded their product into the supplement library as well as the Solex supplement into the library, and every time I do a scan, it comes up and says that the competitor's product is better. My answer is, then that's the product you should take. That's what it's about. Is the frequency resonates with you, doesn't matter who made the product, that's the frequency that you should take. That's what makes the AO scan so amazing. There is no bias. There is no prejudice. It is what it is. If your frequency is at this and the supplement you're checking is at this and those two blend, that's the one you would take. What was interesting is we later found out that when they had entered the product into the supplement database, they'd entered it as in the entire supplement rather than as a dose. So when you're putting your supplements into your library, and I don't care whose it is, make sure it's a dose, not the entire bottle or bottle of pills or liquids or whatever, a dose. Till next week.
Okay, guys, don't hang up. Starting tonight, June 30th, we are going to have 50-cent enrollment. This is huge. Throughout all of the month of July, starting tonight, the 30th of June, through the month of July, enrollment, 50 cents. And we have a couple of giveaways. Kai?
Hey, okay, let's do giveaway number one. Also tonight, for any enrollment that you make, a PC or a QLA, a new enrollment that you bring in tonight. So those that are on the fence, you might want to give them one more phone call. Everybody who enrolls somebody was going to be in a drawing for an Ionix Gold 4-ounce bottle. So we'll draw just from tonight in the next few hours. You know, go close those last conversations that you need to have and get your Ionix Gold for free.
Awesome.
Lauren?
Okay, now this next giveaway is pretty big. Top enroller for the month of July. So that's QLA or preferred customer. So the number one enroller for this month, airfare and hotel for Day of Discovery in September.
That's
awesome.
Huge. It's
All right.
Is that like that's economy airfare at least, right? It's not.
I don't know. You're paying for
I'm
it.
paying. Okay.
So we're good.
It's going to be on a cargo plane out here.
So tonight,
Hope you don't mind.
Tonight, you got to get busy. Right after this call, get busy because you have a chance to win that Ionix Gold. But even more, stay busy because at the end of July, you're going to get airfare and hotel.
Wow.
In September.
Awesome.
Big deal.
In September.
All right. See you next week.
See you next
Good
week.
night.